trip along the Tennessee River Civil War Trail begins in Stewart County near the Kentucky state line. Tennessee was in the thick of the Civil War when the conflict began in 1861. Two reasons for that were the Tennessee and Cumberland rivers. The Confederacy had to build forts on these rivers to defend them from invasion by the North.
Well, the great rivers of the South were important to the Confederacy in many ways. They were great trade carriers, commercial arteries, but it was quickly recognized by both sides that they potentially provided roadways for attack and then supply into the South.
On the Tennessee River were Fort Henry and Fort Hyman. When those forts fell easily to Union forces in 1862, attention went to the neighboring Cumberland River a few miles away. That place, also in Stewart County, is where you'll find Fort Donelson National Battlefield. In early 1862, Fort Donelson was the site of fierce fighting on both water and land. Today, this beautiful national park includes preserved earthworks that were the walls of the fort, shore batteries where Union ironclad gunboats were once repelled, historical monuments and markers, hiking trails, and a national cemetery where many Union soldiers, both known and unknown, are buried. Nearby at the Dover Hotel, you can walk the grounds, enter the building, and stand in the room where the unconditional surrender of Southern troops was demanded and accepted by the Union commander who first made a name for himself at this battle, Ulysses S. Grant. As the Civil War was erupting in Tennessee, iron production was already the dominant industry in the area. One of the few remaining furnace structures is on a roadway called the Trace in Stewart County's Land Between the Lakes area. The Great Western Furnace began operation in 1855. A community of workers lived around it. Now, it stands as a monument to a time when iron production was one of the few industries in the rural South. And speaking of the rural South, during the Civil War there was more to it than just the familiar picture of large cotton plantations. The homes Southern soldiers left behind and fought for were usually much simpler. But don't just take our word for it. You can see for yourself and have a great day at the same time when you visit a recreation of an actual mid-19th century Tennessee farm called the Home Place.
Their names are Red and Star.
For a family that's coming to tour the home place and walk around as a part of a self-guided visit, they can expect to see a working farm. We are a working farm in that we have live animals and we do the tasks that were required of a farm in the 1850s.
This thing is called a yoke. Can you say that word?
A visit to the Home Place brings to life a side of the Civil War that most of us don't even think about.
We think we have it hard, but these families, they had to work every day. They had to make do with a lot of things that we would not probably do without. So it's an appreciation of what you have today compared to what they would have had then.
Both educational and fun, the Home Place leaves you with an image of the home a Civil War soldier might have thought of as he sat around the campfire at night. And while you're in the neighborhood, you and your family can drive just a few miles north to enjoy the sight of majestic animals at the Elk and Bison Prairie. A driving tour across this 700-acre park is as close as you and your family may ever get to these beautiful creatures.